be useful. On that note, we welcome you to Press Drive this morning on your perfect choice station, I-FLIER 103.3 FM. And I'm happy to be here this morning to give you the latest stories in our nation today. Do some analysis on major stories with your help. I believe we are going to have a wonderful show. In helping me to dish out the information this morning are the Punch, the Daily Trust, the Vanguard, the Nation, and the Guardian newspaper. My name is Marvelous Sobaloju, and I will be your driver on Press Drive for this morning. And trust me, I'm a good driver. I will give you a beautiful ride to the stories. Good morning, Nigeria. Good morning, Higher State. And good morning to Ibadan City and its environs. You all are welcome on board. Let's do this just like we always do, together. I believe you all haven't forgotten what today's date is. Today is the 14th day in the month of July 2022. And now let me begin with the top stories or the top headlines making the rounds from the Punch newspaper. And this is on Osun 2022. Not the time for dancing markets. ABBA blamed Dari AFN after World Championship exclusion. And this is on Commonwealth Games, 94 athletes to represent Nigeria. Don't allow lioness bully you, Obafemi tells Falcons. Sadiq rejoins Ameria in training. And on political stories, decision on Shettima final, says Tinubu's men. Aregbesol's faction banks on court to sack Oyetola. Why Atiku shouldn't be Nigerian's president, says lawyer. Police arrest Kuje prison escapee in Ogun. And this is on Tinubu, 10 implications of APC's Muslim ticket, says SAN. Knox as Singer Portable endorses Tinubu Oyetola. Kogi man bags 10 years jail for robbery. Police arraign man for alleged 8.5 million naira land fraud. Fire consumes Hebonyi market. Council boss console traders. One killed, 9 injured in Ondo crash. And a little bit of business top story. Federal government meets hype man, Moman, fuel price hike in imminent. And on political story, and this is on Osun poll, Oyetola, Adeleke, others back to battlefront Saturday. Tinubu to represent Shettima to present Shettima to APC leadership today, Thursday. On Osun as well, IPAC cautions parties against violence inducement. APC paid me to endorse Tinubu, says Singer Portable. And still on Osun story, Okowa Tambuwa Duri meets Onyelola, others. Muslim student group declares support for Oyetola. NNPP suspend acting chairman for insulting Buba Galadima. Akeredolu's commissioner resigned hours after redeployment. Muslim ticket, act of God, that's coming from APC chairman Adam. And a little bit of entertainment still from the Punch newspaper. This is on running mate Funke Akindele suspend acting career. And now, moving to the Nation's newspaper, we have this headline. Court rules today on Oyo Deputy Governor's impeachment. Tinubu Shettima's ticket is the answer, says Abraham. Senator Abbey to church be involved in politics. A chieftain of the All Progressive Congress, Jack Rich, has said only economic liberalization strategy will help Nigeria overcome its current challenges. On voters' registration, Lagos youth demand more enrollment machines. Pantami to unveil books at Emerging Technologies Forum today, Thursday. COVID-19 cases rise in July as we have about 1,584 cases recorded in 12 days. Lagos accounted for 82.5%. Nigerians record 1,584 positive cases of COVID-19 in just 12 days. That's between June 30 and July 11. On insecurity, 14,500 dead in 4.5 years in West Africa, ECOWAS Commission laments. And this is on 2023 census. Return accurate, verifiable, dependable data, Buhari tells NPC. And still on insecurity, the IG, that's the Inspector General of Police, Usman Baba, has ordered a ban on the use of police spy number plates by vehicle owners across the country. Oyo High Court begins vacation tomorrow. And moving away from the Nation's newspaper and now straight to the Vanguard newspaper. Some of the top stories include Ganduje, others battle Babachio over APC's same faith tickets. ₦165 petrol pump price no longer realistic. That's coming from Moman. Nigerians can't wait to see Buhari go. Ogoni cleanup has been major disappointment. That's coming from Abe. Environmental activists blame federal government for upsurge in illegal refineries in Niger Delta. On 2023, close rank, work for PDP, appeal to Wike, others. And this is, of course, on human capital development. Edo government launches orientation training for women youth. And on water resources bill, federal government has ulterior motives, Udokwa Youth says. Fishermen ask Buhari to intervene in Bonga oil spill by OICs. Dangote now 63rd as Elon Musk tops 100 billionaires ranking. Federal government borrowing according to budget. That's coming from DMO. And coming from the president this morning, I am not leaving anything for my children to inherit. That's coming from Buhari. On 2023, 3 days to deadline, Kwankwaso Showeres parties have no gubernatorial assembly candidates. That's coming from HINEC. Federal government insists on new boards for Bini Disco, others. And coming from Bishop Kuka this morning on ASU strike, it's not acceptable to still have schools closed after months. PMNCH, Women in Global Health, UHC 2030, others demand women's leadership, gender equity, resilience to achieve CDGs. NACON apologizes, vowed to return Hajj fears of disappointed pilgrims. We will sustain partnership with Marabel Center to support sexual assault victims. That's coming from UK Envoy. Additional elated by AFDB's top ranking by Global Aid Transparency Index. Governors, lawmakers responsible for challenges in the North, Natura and CNG says. Ondo Commissioner resigns, hires after cabinet reshuffle. Nigerians to access affordable surgical care that's coming from federal government. And a tragic one here, how flood swept away 3 siblings, 4 others in Lagos and in Ogun states. Educate yourselves to overcome poverty. Buhari challenges youth. Allow Nigerians with expired passports to return home. Aregbesola orders NIS. Showere has therefore replied, Heineck says names on Porter. Throw in the towel. Hand over to Oshibajo. Northern Elders Forum hit Buhari. Tension in Kebbi has APC Council Chairman arrest 5 Senate leaders loyalists in Agugu. Buhari participates in trial centers in Dara. University undergraduate killed by cultists in Ilorin. And the last headline from the Vanguard newspaper, Interior Minister queries immigration officer over passport issues. And moving very quickly to the Daily Trust newspaper, how Nigeria can make its population beneficial to it. And on VP slot, how Babachio panel recommended Shetima 10 others to Tinubu. And another headline, Buhari, I am not leaving any asset for my children to inherit. No agreement yet with ASU, says federal government. Aregbesola catches immigration officer extorting passport applicants in Lagos. Court compels multi-choice to sub-license channels to Metro Digital. In Plateau State, Irigwe Fulani sign peace pacts. My foundation never forced Christians to accept Islam. Ganduje replies Babachi Lawal. And a tragic news in Bauchi State. How kidnappers targeting Adamu Muhazu's children gunned down his nephew, abducted family members. IGP banned spy number plate nationwide. And on Muslim ticket, Akeredolu asks Nigerians to choose competence over religion. Now away from the Vanguard newspaper, from the Daily Trust newspaper, now I've moved very quickly to the Guardian newspaper. Anglican bishop says federal government not honest in tackling insecurity. Protest trail closing time for Abuja Gardens. Parks ban on alcohol sale. Travelers groan as summer fare spike 200%, 1 million naira per economy seat. More chieftains resign in protest over APC's Muslim tickets. Obi's emergence will not stop Biafra agitation, says Masob. And this one is business, but very efficient as well. Euro exchanges for 630 naira at black market as dollar closes up gap. Bottlenecks worsen vehicles clearance. Ease of business. Muslim ticket is work of God, says Adamu as Ganduje tackles ex-SGF. And on ASU strike, stop playing with future of youths, Kalu tells federal government. $165 naira petrol pump price not realistic any longer, says major marketers. NPC picks 9 Bauchi local government areas for trial census. Kano remains APC state, says Ganduje. Airlifting of Nigerian pilgrims back home begins on Friday. Atiku, Okowa's team unbeatable, ex-police affairs minister says. And the last newspaper we'll be checking out very quickly, and this is the Daily Post newspaper. On 2023, why Kwankwaso Kachiko's names are missing on Porter, says INEC. Nothing to give to my children after office as president, says President Buhari. Peter Obi's running mate, Baba Ahmed, on the fire over Muslim Northerners' comments. Okowa's transforming Delta State through infrastructure, human empowerment. We must confront oppressors, fight for our freedom, says Charlie Boy. NSCDC rescues girl locked up for 8 years in Kaduna. Ondo Commissioner Adeyanju resigns hers after cabinet reshuffle. And on 2023 presidency, Peter Obi, Baba Ahmed have nothing to offer, says Adegborua. Nsukka local government declares total support for Governor Ugwuanyi's senatorial bid. Bauchi NNPP Exco rejects state chairman suspension. And on Osun, Nigeria can only change if you vote out old politicians, says Peter Obi. Jimmy Agbaje speaks on dumping PDP for APC. NNPP suspends chairman for arrogance and disrespect. These are some of the top stories, major headlines making the rounds this morning. Now let's go into the details of some of the news. Don't go anywhere.
The first entertainment station in Nigeria. It is your perfect choice station for the I-FLIERs.
Yes, you're welcome back. Now let's go into some of the stories, from the major news or the major headlines this morning. And I'm going to start on education, of course, on HASU strike. Stop playing with the future of youth, Kalu tells federal government. The chief whip of the Nigerian Senate, Orji Uzo Kalu, has called on the federal government to immediately put up measures to end the prolonged industrial action by the Academic Staff Union of Universities. In a statement signed yesterday, the lawmaker said incessant strike by the lecturers could lead to poor quality of graduates. He called on both parties to stop playing with the future of Nigerian youths who have been at home for over 5 months. From the Daily Trust newspaper, Buhari, I am not leaving any asset for my children to inherit. President Muhammadu Buhari has called on parents to inculcate right values in children, including deep fear of God, respect for constituted authorities, and living a purposeful life through continuous education. The president made the call on Wednesday when he was at the Emir of Dara's palace in Dara, Katsina State for the Salah homage. Buhari charged the youth to seek education not for government jobs, which were unavailable, but to arm themselves with skill and ability to fight poverty and to meet the needs of the 2021 and the 21st century. He said more time should be given to the coaching of future leaders with basic knowledge of moral values as the fast rising and changing world driven by new technology would be more competitive and demanding. He said emphasis should be on skills acquisitions and competence in creation and deployment of technology, stating that during the COVID-19, we asked all level 12 downward to stay at home, and surprisingly, the system worked effectively. And according to him, I was locked up for more than 3 years after leading the country. At that point, I realized and I told my children that your net worth is what is in your head, not what you have acquired in life. My focus has always been on training the children to be relevant wherever they find themselves. I told my children, particularly the girls, that they can only get married after getting a first degree. Partly end of quote. The president said the younger generation should be guided and taught history as they would find it hard to be patriotic, responsible, and respectful without a thorough understanding of their background. On 2023, and this is found in the Vanguard newspaper, this is of course politics, 3 days to deadline, Kwankwaso Showare's party have no gubernatorial assembly candidate that's coming from INEC. 3 days to the deadline for nominations of candidates for the 2023 general election. 2 political parties, the New Nigerian People's Party (NNPP) and African Action Congress (AAC), are yet to upload their governorship and state assembly candidates for the polls. While former Kano State Governor Rabiu Musa Kwankwaso is the presidential candidate of the NNPP, Sahara reporter publisher Omoyele Sowore is a standard bearer of the AAC. Neither of the parties have submitted the names of their state-level candidates for the election. Giving an update on the candidate nomination process, INEC National Commissioner in charge of Information and Voters Education Committee, Festus Okoye, in a statement said yesterday that so far the commission has processed 6,995 nomination forms uploaded by 16 of 18 political parties for the constituencies where they intend to sponsor candidates. However, 2 political parties, the African Action Congress and NNPP, are yet to upload a single nomination on the portal. As provided for in the timetable and schedule of activities for the 2023 general election, which INEC released in February 2022, all political parties that conducted valid primaries are required to nominate their candidates for governorship, deputy governorship, and state assembly elections via the INEC candidate nomination portal from 1st to 15th July 2022. this is in response to what INEC said about AAC and NNPP not submitting their nomination forms. Okay, on the Porter page, Sowore replies INEC saying names on Porter. The standard bearer of the African Action Congress, AAC Omoyele Sowore, yesterday replied to claims by the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, that his name was not found on the Porter. You would recall that INEC had announced that 3 days to the deadline for nomination of candidates for the 2023 general election, two political parties, that's the NNPP and the AAC, had yet to upload their candidates for the polls. Reacting to this, Sowore, in a statement made available to newsmen in Abuja, advised Nigerians to disregard information making rounds on his omission on INEC Porter. He maintained that his name and that of his vice presidential candidate have been uploaded and approved on the INEC Porter. According to him, we're right to inform members of the public that the news making rounds, that the particulars of our presidential candidate is not submitted, isn't true. Yes, this is another one from ASU. It's unacceptable to still have schools closed after months. That's coming from Kuka. The Catholic Bishop of Sokoto Diocese, Matthew Kuka, said yesterday it was unacceptable that Nigerian universities were still closed after so many months. Also, the presidential candidate of African Democratic Party, Mr. Dumebi Kachukwu, has pleaded with striking lecturers to consider the plight of Nigerian students and return to the classroom despite not being provided with their demands by the federal government. Bishop Okuka, who stated this at the signing of a peace accord ahead of the Osun State gubernatorial election, asserted that the prolonged strike does not speak well of the democracy the nation prefers to be practicing. The cleric said it was quite sad that the strike had lasted this long, particularly because democracy had always given the people a platform for negotiations, consensus, and several other means for solving such issues as existed between the government and the authorities of various universities. You are still listening to Press Drive on I-FLIER 103.3 FM. And pretty soon, I am going to connect with my amazing analyst. And we are going to talk about some things, of course. And you all also get to call us and react to any of the news making the rounds this morning. You know that you are my amazing listener. And, you know, your contributions actually goes a long way, okay? So you must ensure you put a call through this morning, okay? And be a part of the news making the rounds this morning as well. Of course, we still have other stories and, you know, as time permits, we'll definitely still give you more. But then you can drop a comment on our Facebook page, okay, at I-FLIER 103.3 FM. I-FLIER 103.3 FM. Letter I-FLIER F-L-I-E-R 103.3 FM. And I will be willing to answer and to read them out to the hearings of Nigerians this morning. My name is Marvelous Sobaloju. Let's do this just like we always do. So make sure you call in, make sure you drop your comment on our Facebook page. And yes, I am trying to connect with my analyst already, and pretty soon is going to be here, you know, to give analysis to some of the trending stories this morning. But while we are still at it, you remember the last time I was privileged to anchor this particular program, Press Drive, we talked about a lot of things, about the Muslim ticket, because that seems to be like one of the trendy stories making the rounds this morning. And of course, why some people are against it, some of course are in support of it. What's your own opinion on Muslim ticket? Some believe that we should vote for competence over religion, but then other people have the opinion that religion is also part of competence. Okay, so it seems. Hello.
Hello.
Yes. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Marvelous.
Yeah, it's good to hear your voice this morning, Mr. Latif.
Yeah, it's good to hear your voice too this morning. Although I couldn't make it to the studio, but
yeah, I understand. It's okay. So let's just continue from where we stopped. Yeah, I'm going to start from security issues, okay? The authorities of the Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps, that's the NSCDC, they have confirmed, okay, the authenticity of a leaked memo, okay, generating dust, on alleged fresh plot by the Islamic State of West African Province, that's the ISWAP, to attack more locations in Abuja, that's the Federal Capital Territory, okay? And this is another form of intelligence and information from security agencies. Now, why are these terrorists bent on destroying the country, Mr. Latif?
Well, I think the first thing we need to understand about terrorism is that it thrives on propaganda.
Okay.
Terrorism thrives on propaganda, and the conspicuous, the more conspicuous the place they attack, the more the news travel. Imagine how it will resonate if these people attack a target in the Federal Capital Territory, someone very close to the seat of the government. Look at the kind of attention the attack just generated. So that is the kind of awareness they want to create. That is the kind of attention they want to attract to themselves. So it is very normal, it is expected that these people will make plans and even try to hit targets in the Federal Capital Territory and even in the big cities across Nigeria, because that will draw more attention to them than them hitting top targets in the territories, because the military can easily claim, we restricted them to aspects of Nigeria, we restricted them to borders. But when these people eat in the heart of the country, they say, we are fully on ground, we can actually carry out operations in your capital city, and there's nothing you can do. So that's a big threat. But the bottom line is that this is not the first time agencies in Nigeria will be sharing intelligence. This is not the first time such information will be going out. So what have they done? That is the question we need to ask ourselves.
Okay.
It is not the job of the NCDC to stop the attack now. They are shared with the relevant authorities. So actually, a lot of people will force them. How did that lead them to get into the public space? It's not meant to get into the public space. So how did it get into the public space? That's not the questions that we need to ask. But now it has got into the public space, and they are also confirmed it's actually emanated from them. So what if the other of agencies, what are they doing about it to ensure that this attack just takes place? Because that should be the priority now. Another attack of Kuje magnitude in FCT or anywhere else in Nigeria will not be good. It will further embolden these terrorists, and you know what that we say about our security status, about our what the effect it has on our bids to attract foreign direct investment into the country and other things. So I think these security agents, the military, the police, the DSS, they need to get on it, infiltrate the sleeping cells of this. That means these guys have split up in Abuja already, and they might have infiltrated government circles, they might have infiltrated our security agencies. So we need to do a thorough intelligence, we need to do a thorough groundwork to ensure that they are able to carry out their mission.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Latif. But I'm still on insecurity now. Still on kidnapping. Actually, a victim who was released from the den of the kidnappers said that these kidnappers have threatened large-scale attack on Yoruba land. This obviously, of course, calls for concern, considering the fact that we are always at the receiving hand, and this obviously should not be seen or be called bluff. Just like we see insecurity when intelligence was are sent to us like that, we don't take them seriously because we have seen some levels of insecurity on virtually every part of Yoruba owned state. With this information, which by now must have circulated all over the appropriate quarters, what do you suggest we do to prevent or to curb this proposed plan from happening?
Well, we are still on the same issue. If you look at it, it's not about the Yoruba land anymore. It's about what we've been saying over and that this we think the South in general, the Southwest, the South, and the whole of South in general is safe from this insurgency. But when we look at the areas they have covered so far and the proximity of the areas where they have struck in the past, so where we think we are safe, we can actually see that they are very, very close. These things are closer to home than we want to admit. So I think the governors in the Southwest need to up their game, need to pick up and increase our security surveillance along border lines in the state. It's not even just the border lines in the state, in the forest, in the marketplace, everywhere around the Southwest, they need to increase security presence, anti-security presence, and more importantly, like I always say, try to get a legislation that will give Amoteco this constitutional power. So it is very, very important that when they make arrests, they can actually take the accused court on their own. So they don't have to wait for authority from Abuja, from anywhere before they take action. And then another legislation that will ensure that they have a superior firepower to the people they are actually dealing with. So I think they need to work on that. So, and recruit more people with more training. The training that these people have is not enough. Intelligence gathering should be top priority. Get guys who are advanced in this area who can actually meet up the people and meet out the criminals amongst us. So intelligence gathering is very, very important. Whether we have the combatants, the operatives who go out there to arrest, who go out there to show for, we actually also need the operatives who will be very skilled in their operations, mix up with the people, blend in with these criminals, and ensure they stop this attack before they take place. It is very important. Nowhere is actually safe now. So they are to avoid standing like an island. I think these guys are already at our door. So we need to do everything to ensure that we fasten the boat so that they don't break down the door. So that they don't break down the door. So we need to work. Although I will not go with that report. It's more like sensationalism to me. But there are elements of fact responsible to this. So it's like very, very possible that these guys might actually be coming down south, because by the time the market in the north is saturated and there is nothing to take from these people again, they will need to move down south.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Latif. Before we go into politics properly, I still want to ask this question because before we had the Salah break, we saw that the president met with the service chiefs and the security agencies. And we are yet to see, they didn't tell us why they met, but we guess that it could be because of the Kuje prison, but then the purpose is not known to the public. Or could it be for the festivity we had?
No, it couldn't have been for the festivity. That would have been the prerogative of the police. The president couldn't be so free that he would be meeting with security chief over the festivity. So that security chief, what actually informed that is the attack on Kuje place. Don't forget, that place is not so far from the seat of government, so, and it's not so far from the international airport in Abuja. So that is what informed that is the attack on Kuje prison. Definitely, they must have discussed on other security issues, especially how to protect Nigerians, then how to stop what is going on in the northwest, and how to prosecute the campaign against insurgencies in the northeast. They are not obliged by the law to tell us what they discussed.
Okay.
But we shouldn't be interested in what they discussed. What should interest us now is the result of what they have discussed.
Okay.
I think you got my point.
Yeah, result.
The result. Nigerians want to feel safe in our own. We want to feel safe on our streets. We want to feel safe in our places of worship. We want to feel safe in our market. So this should be our priority. We shouldn't bother much on what they discuss, how they discuss. What should bother us that when are we likely to start seeing the results of this discussion? This is not that wouldn't have been the first time the president discussed on the service chief, and at the end of the day, nothing usually comes out of such meetings. So
that's exactly where I'm going, sir. Because in more stable countries, Mr. Latif, where public officers, take responsibility for errors that was committed under their watch, some officials would have tendered their letter of resignation by now. And even in Nigeria, where such honorable step is not really taken, okay, if the president, were active, some people would have been asked to step down from that office pending the outcome of the investigation. But none of this was done and has not been done. And Nigeria wants answers to, salient questions like how did these terrorists, could have operated for more than 2 hours in Abuja without official intervention from the military or security formations to checkmate them? And why did the incident happen barely 24 hours after the soldiers deployed to the facilities were withdrawn? These are questions that people are really asking.
Well, you and I, as they ask me, who are they asking?
Right.
We can't answer these questions. And to be sincere, these are just conspiracies that we need to unravel. They might eventually unravel themselves in the coming days, but as it is now, they still remain what they are, conspiracies. Just people putting conjectures together to make sense of what is happening. And you can't really blame these people. You can't really blame these people for whatever they think, because Nigerians are getting fed up already of what is going on around them. So we need answers from the presidency, because when you leave the void, the presidency is leaving too much gap in communication. It's like these people have disdain for Nigerians. They don't want to talk to us. It will be surprised, even where this administration is doing extremely well, that they should be talking about it. They are not talking about it. Even they are doing pretty well. Infrastructure things they are building that should be in the news every day. The federal government is doing this, the federal government is doing. They don't talk about it. It's like this someone telling this Messiah saga that we are doing you a favor. Why should we talk to you? And it creates a kind of vacuum that needs to be filled. And when you have this kind of a vacuum in government, people will see it with whatever they think is right for them. So you can't actually blame people coming up with conjectures. You can't blame people coming up with different conspiracies to fill in that vacuum. So that is the main problem. Until the government actually comes out and tells their own side of the story, we might not know what is going on. I myself have been expecting the president to bring down the armor on some people. It is what it is. In Nigeria, we don't do that. And I am an optimist. I also want to believe the president must have, the security chiefs must have given the president some assurance that things will improve. But just like I said, what should be our own concern is that things should improve.
Okay, yeah, thank you very much. Now let's leave security for now and go into politics. Let's begin from Oyo State. Today is actually a strategic day because it's going to determine the fate of the Deputy Governor, Rahuf Olaniyan. What should we expect?
I don't know what to expect. I cannot preempt. I cannot preempt because but the thing is that his legal team should really try to ensure that they drag it for as long as they can drag it. That's the only card. That's the only card they can play that they can make. But if that should go to the floor of the assembly and they should subject it to vote or whatever kind of vote, I don't think that's enough for us based on that floor to get in the numbers that will keep him on the seat. We know who has the majority on that house, and we can easily predict how the members of the house are likely to vote. So I wish him good luck.
Okay, you wish him good luck. We wish him good luck too. All right, now let's go a little bit into education. While people are really trying to plead with the government as well as the unions to stop this ASU strike of a thing, the president came out today to tell us that education is the best gift any parent can give to their child, and that's why he said that no child of his is going to inherit anything except for the education he or she has. Now, it now brings me to the question, because this is quite ironical. The same president who will not respond to ASU strike, and telling us that education is the right way to go. The education is the future of students out there, of youth out there. And then he keeps hammering that there's no job anywhere. We have to start creating jobs. This difference, because it seems like there's a game that is being played out here. The president, the president is even pleading with the union to, resume, and the unions are insisting that the reason why they have not resumed is because the federal government are yet to respond to their pleas. How do we fix this?
No, the president is not playing any game. The president is just saying who he is, President Muhammadu Buhari. That tax high, that challenge to state emergency is what is playing here. Because if you remember, just a few years ago, the president is pleading that Nigerians should plead to ASU to call up the strike. But the president has a report on his desk that needs to look at, either to accept or to reject this report. You are yet to access to that report, and you are pleading with that. The first step towards resolving this, the first step towards resolving this is that look at that report, either assent to it or reject it. So if you do one of these, we can know where the fault lies now. If IPPIS and UTAS is the problem now, we can know how to apportion blame accordingly.
Yeah.
But now you have a report of the committee you set up yourself.
Okay.
Look at that report, and from what I've gathered, what is in that report, whatever the president decides about that report, it will inform the next step towards the permanent resolution of the ASU federal government issue. Either they will go back for a renegotiation that will become a permanent agreement between the federal government and ASU, or the federal government will agree with what ASU is proposing currently. But the president is yet to look at that one, probably still looking at it. So, and you are not pleading to ASU the call of their strike. Do what is right first, and let's see who is at fault.
Yeah.
So I think just the president being the president in this case. Just the president.
Okay, now speaking of President Buhari, a lot of persons, the Northern Elders Forum, are saying that since the president have said that he can't wait to leave office and is probably getting tired of the office already, how about he transfers the power to his vice? You think that's a good advice?
Yeah, it's a good advice. He thinks he's tired, he can't carry on. There's a constitutional provision for that. He can actually resign.
Really?
Yes, he can resign.
But you think our president can do that? He will want to finish strong. Military man.
No, not to stop him from doing that. That will have been the biggest decision, and that will have been the best decision for him. Look, I have come so far, and I think I can't go on. This is not what I planned, and for the past 7 years, I've been thinking I thought I'll be able to resolve this issue, but I can't carry on. I quit. It shows strength to quit when you can no longer go on. So, and it won't be contravening any section of the Constitution. It's very allowed. So the law permits him, if I resign, then his vice can continue, and it can conclude his career. And it's going to be a win-win for everybody. And in a way, you will be able to maintain what is the rest of his legacy.
Okay, thank you very much. We have very limited time left, and we want to really take yes, we want them to drop their comment already and be a part of today's show. You can drop your comment, on our Facebook page on I-FLIER 103.3 FM. Or you can put a call through already to any of the studio lines 091 6000 1033, 091 6000 1033, or 0705 500 1033, 0705 500 1033 or 091 6000 1033. Hello. 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 Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Marvelous.
Yes, sir. What's your name?
I'm please. From Ogun area.
Okay, thank you very much, sir. Your take.
I want to comment on two things. First, about the governor, the vice governor.
Okay.
You cannot, nobody can comment on it now. Because right now it's in court, and any comment on it would be against the law. It will be extra content extra. And any comment we could be tried in the court immediately.
Okay.
That is one. I want you to elucidate on this BBC issue of Ondo State, because I'm from Ondo State, and I'm just hearing you for the first time in my in-laws house here.
Wow.
I want you to throw more light into what is happening in the BBC.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir. We appreciate your call. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
So, Michelle is on the line.
Okay, yeah.
I want to react to what Mr. President said, that training and education is the best legacy. I'm so surprised that Mr. President has that statement. If you truly believe that is the best legacy, why not resolve the ASU strike? There are kind of 140 days or so now. If you are sincere that this is the individual of the students is very circumstantial for his own administration, so to resolve it, the authentic bedrock of good governance, especially development of a great country like Nigeria.
Yeah.
About that instance, for my own observation, is a political statement. I hope I cannot forget when one of his sons, Yusuf, he used power back to have an accident. So it's also part of inheritance that one of the children that they gained when he was the president. But I know there is God who, for we the masses, especially the children of Nigerian students.
Okay.
God will and thank you.
Thank you so much. We appreciate your call. On our Facebook page, of course, you can put a call through 0705 500 1033 or 091 6000 1033. And I have this one from Sulaiman Sharif. Good morning, Marvelous, and analyst over there. Have a pleasant day ahead. Thank you very much. Those not pleased with the choice of APC Muslim ticket, he or she should vote for other political parties who produce his or her choice. My choice may not be your choice. Shikena, okay? Thank you, Sulaiman Sharif from Onora. Thank you so much. And I have this one from Miriam Afolabi. The two ugly incidences, that's Kuje jailbreak, an attack on President Hadvan's team that happened few weeks ago, proved the rate and level of insecurity in the country. Security sector has totally collapsed. May we never witness this kind of APC leadership in the country again. Oh, okay. Thank you, Miriam Afolabi. And coming from Adebowale Kemisola, good morning. The only language federal government understands is strike. ASU has been on strike for the past 4 months. Does it look like they understand the language now? What a failed government, okay? And then she continues to say, the present state of Nigerian education is in jeopardy. Federal government is grossly insensitive about it. ASU should just consider the students because they are the ones at the receiving hand, just to complement what Kemi Sola said, where two elephants fight is the grass that suffers. 0705 500 1033 or 091 6000 1033. Yes, the studio lines are open. Make sure you drop your comments on our Facebook page. And thanks to all our friends on Facebook who are watching us live, and of course who have dropped their comments as well. Thank you so much. Yes, we still await your calls. And then when I was talking about the Kuje prison break, we talked about salient questions that Nigerians are probably looking for, want answers to, yeah? And some of them, I've mentioned to already. And some of the questions include, how could the terrorists have operated for more than 2 hours in Abuja without official intervention from the military or security formation to checkmate them? And I also said that, why did the incident happen barely 24 hours after the soldiers deployed to the facility were withdrawn? Then the next question is, who even ordered the withdrawal in the first place, and to what end? And even at that, could it be that their colleagues who replaced them, were not properly briefed? And why were high-profile and hardened criminals kept in a medium security correctional facility? Let's take this call first. Hello?
Hello, good morning.
Good morning to you, sir. What's your name?
My name is Olu Adesheye from Alakia, Ibadan.
Okay, thank you, sir. Your take.
Yeah, I just want to comment on the issue of ASU strike and the federal government face-off.
All right, that's fine.
It is quite unfortunate that people are just looking at the side of the federal government alone. They have not taken time to look at the side of the ASU too.
Oh, okay.
Now, it is not an employer that will dictate. It's not an employer that will dictate to the person that employs him or her that this is how you should pay me and this is what you should pay me.
Okay.
Now, if the contract fails, then they can still go back to a drawing table and see how can they move forward and fashion a way forward, rather than keep on blaming federal government.
Okay.
If the person promised to marry a woman and says, okay, I'm going to do everything for you, and the woman asked for a car and he bought it, he asked for a house, he built it, and the woman asked him, I wanted to touch the moon. And the man said, look, I don't have the power for you to go to the moon and touch the moon. And people are not saying, but you promised her. So you must fulfill your promise. You know that many of these houses, they are working in more than 3-4 places. And they are earning salaries. And they are earning, in fact, some of them are working in private universities. Some of them are working in some other establishment, and they are collecting money from government. And that is why they were not even feeling the impact of this strike. They just want to suffer the children unnecessarily. They want to suffer the students unnecessarily. They are benefiting from somewhere else, and the children are not benefiting from anywhere. Thank you. That is my own comment.
All right. Thank you, sir, from Alakia. Thank you so much. Oops, I doubt if we'll be able to take any other calls this morning, but thank you all for participating. Thanks to my seasoned analyst here. But before I go, I'll take this last call. Hello? 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 Oh, okay. All right. I hope you all enjoyed Press Drive this morning. Trust me, Saturday is going to be amazing. You're gonna love it. Okay, make sure you make it a date with us on Saturday by 6 a.m. Okay, 6 a.m. But then you get to join my colleague tomorrow by 6:15 a.m. I am Marvelous Sobaloju. Till Saturday, where we meet again on Press Drive. Have a wonderful day. I love you. Bye for now.